over. We got Oakland, we got San Francisco, San Jose, Seattle, East Coast. So really, really grateful that you all are here with us tonight.
Cool. One thing to note is that we will be recording this kind of showcase event just for y'all to know in case you feel uncomfortable, in case you want to turn off your camera. Another thing to note that we just want to go over is just kind of Zoom chat etiquette. So when artists are performing, we ask you guys to mute yourselves, please. And then also, if an artist is performing, please do type that fire emoji, type that 100 emoji, type that like period, the snap emojis. Do what you gotta do in order to make the artist feel loved, to affirm them, not only because they're great, but also because they're sharing their truths, and truths are sacred. And also because in the Zoom world, it can be really awkward when you're sharing a piece and you don't hear the affirmation from the crowd. So one way we can do that is through the clap sign, different emojis, different things like that. And yeah, so just make sure you guys make the artist feel loved throughout the night. So the first thing that we're gonna do is introduce our first artist named Nicole. Nicole Tracy is a poet, lover of being on stage, cat mom, and generally confused human. She uses writing to reconnect back to disconnected identities and channel her badass, take no shit, and conquer any challenge attitude into work and writing. What started out as something for fun quickly became a love and need to continue writing and growing through writing. Her other hobbies include dance, cuddles, and scaring strangers at bars away with weird animal facts. So please welcome Nicole Tracy, our poet that's going to be opening.
Hi everyone, how's everyone doing tonight? So I have 3 pieces kind of varying lengths and themes. This first one, actually, I'm a millennial, so I'm on Snapchat. And for different things, Snapchat does little filters. And for May, they do one for Asian Pacific Heritage Month. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And some of their filters will be like, here's some resources to go to. But that one was just like, May is Asian Pacific Heritage Month. And that was it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, why May? So I kind of did my own research, and that's where this first piece came from. May is Asian Pacific Heritage Month. And to honor that, Snapchat has made a filter for it. But you can't put a filter on history. I forget my last name is Misaki because America wants me to be the first of my name. First generation, first to forget my own history, first to disown my history. The United States chose May for 2 reasons. One was to commemorate the start of Japanese immigration to the US in May of 1843. And the second was the Transcontinental Railroad, completed in May of 1869, which was largely built by Chinese immigrants. Because nothing says US appreciation like exploitative labor, systemic oppression, and a history of bloodshed like honoring an entire continent's heritage with an observed holiday month. A Snapchat filter would tell you that the Chinese Exclusion Act was passed to help regulate immigration into the US. But you'll never hear that it was the first time the US banned an entire ethnic group from entering the country. You'll never hear that it banned current Chinese Americans from gaining citizenship. You'll never hear about the bloodshed. And when they banned the Chinese, you pretend you welcomed the Japanese until we asked for too much or proved too useful. Then you wrote us into your history as menaces, the yellow peril. You expanded your inclusion to include all of us. The only way you could keep your power was to spread hate. Snapchat filter history would tell you that on paper, Executive Order 9066, passed in 1941, was so that the Secretary of War could detain dangerous war criminals and protect US citizens. What it didn't tell you is that by 1942, it reached the floor of Congress and took a half hour to pass. The US government took that long to decide that they were fighting against the war was allowed so long it was on US soil. Snapchat filter history will tell you Angel Island off San Francisco Bay was where immigrants came in and were proud to come in to America. But it won't tell you we were kept in cages for months or years because you could. We etched our own history onto the walls of Angel Island because your history didn't want us to exist. Snapchat filter history won't tell you that before 1952, Asian immigrants were the only group to be classified as aliens ineligible for citizenship. They let us in under the condition we would never get rights, home, or identity. Snapchat, teach a history lesson. Don't give me a filter. So the second piece is kind of one of my favorite poems. I'm biracial, so that's always an interesting spot to be, just because it's one of those of like, you're a part of us until you're not. And I imagine that that is how a platypus feels. To the platypus, I know what it's like to be looked at with confusion, to be something in between two things and told you are not enough of either. Ducks call you a beaver, beavers will always call you a duck, and neither of them wants you to be both. Both want to put the other part of you on trial and see which part of your quiddity they will still call innocent. I know the ache of wishing you could turn your fur to feathers, wishing your tail could shrink. I know we share the same ache of wanting to be just one thing, just so we don't get asked the same question over and over and over again. I know how it feels to lose your voice when we get asked to pick one. I know you want your identity to be easy for other people to take in. How many ducks called you a beaver before you corrected them? How many jokes did you make at the expense of your own identity because it made it easier to be around someone else? I know some days you feel more duck than beaver, and other days you forget ducks even exist. Most days you wish you could swing your tail and knock out anyone who says you're only a duck, and peck away anyone who says you are only a beaver. Have you ever forgotten what a quack sounds like? Forgotten what your own voice sounds like, surrounded by noise meant to do just that? Well, guess what, platypus? Don't forget about your venom. Don't settle for just being a duck or just being a beaver, when you are so much greater than being equal to just one of them. And that was my platypus. I've also, as I've like sorted through my writing, I've discovered I have a lot of poems about being biracial, but it kind of explores it through different ways. And I was really interested as well. Of course, being Asian, I get a lot of the like, oh, you must be good at math. I am terrible at math. But that has nothing to do with me being Asian or me being white for that matter. I'm just bad at math. And so I was curious what it would look like to break things down as math equations, which is kind of what inspired this next poem. And for this one, I had to do a lot of research on math, which was a struggle. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. Half white plus half Asian equals 2 identities that don't want me. 2/4 is equal to 1/2. Numbers can be equal, retain their value even if they change shape. Numbers show people are not paid equally. 80 out of 100 is not equal to 100 out of 100. Fragility claims feeling outweighs facts. Math is ancient but ignores recent history. 22 out of 30 plus 8 out of 30 is 1 half-hour TV show, plus commercials. 0 out of 30 equals 0, equals the representation I see. Solve for x. There are endless ways to manipulate an equation, but you should always get the same answer. When you are missing x and an answer, you'll always have to make up your own answer, but your answer will always be wrong. 0 is both a real and imaginary number. I am clearly real, but what I'm looking for is still imaginary, meaning I am a complex equation, meaning I confuse others and myself. I was told math was to be done in pencil to erase mistakes. I write myself in pen, and another hand whites out what they call a mistake. And that's what I have for y'all tonight. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much, Nicole, for sharing. First of all, that first poem was a history lesson we never got, but we all needed. Amen? Yes. Thank you, Nicole. And thank you so much for bringing to light the complexities of also being biracial, because there are Asian Americans who are biracial, who are mixed race. So thank you for bringing that into the space and for bringing that truth. I think it will resonate with a lot of folks in this call as well. So thanks for shedding a light on those who kind of are in two different worlds. Thank you. So next up, we have Wendy. Wendy is immigrated to Canada from mainland China at the age of 4, excuse me. As a young adult, her career aspirations drew her to the Bay Area, where she works as a software engineer. Among the many surreal perks offered at work, Wendy has access to music practice rooms and spent time refining her keyboard and vocal skills among a crowd of surprisingly multi-talented tech workers. She plays occasionally at Red Rock and other open mics. Growing up in a small province on Canada's East Coast, there are plenty of silent assumptions encircling race, and Wendy's delighted to get a chance to educate herself, hear everyone else's story, and share her own original song. So Wendy, whenever you're ready.
Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well tonight. Thanks Lacey for the intro. I feel really grateful for the workshop program. I didn't think I would wind up writing anything, but here we are. So I wrote a song, it doesn't have a name yet, but something that Bailey said that really resonated with me was the idea that she has relatives in Asia who are practical strangers. So I started with that and then started diving into a few other ideas as well, about being quiet and about having a grandfather who writes for fun and not being able to read that and understand his experience. Yeah, let's get started. I learned early to state of history as I settled into black strands and small bones, that I feel larger than what they expect of me. And an old man across the ocean misses me. A stranger across the ocean thinks of me, and weaves together poems I can't decode. Every exhale a missed opportunity, and the more I learn, the more the silence grows. Never were one for intimacy. How much of that inheritance was learned? Recent past talks spilled into the 21st century. There are links we never knew and never mourned. The streets were raised and paved over again. After 20 years, you can't tell what is home. After 20 years, I tell you I am grateful. But the more I feel, the more the silence grows. Your daughter doesn't know to raise her voice. The decades can bear down on some like that. But if we help her find the words, maybe we can take the silence back. We never were one for intimacy. How much of that inheritance was learned? Tripping past talks spilled into the 21st century. There are links we never knew and never mourned. There are links we never knew and never mourned. Cool, that's it. Thank you.
Fire. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I typed in the chat that I find it really talented that you could play an instrument and sing at the same time, because I don't even know how to like type and listen to something without like typing what I'm ending up hearing. So just to be able to multitask like that and have it be so beautiful and powerful is a really big thing. So I really commend you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Also, thank you for noting that you participated in our workshop. So really glad that you're here with us tonight again. So next up, I am going to be introducing Say. As a professional drummer, filmmaker, poet, and comedian, Say Yang is a magnetic and animated speaker on creativity, diversity, and storytelling. They've delivered talks to global audiences at Grace Hopper Celebration, Cisco, Oracle, Lesbian to Tech, Women Who Code, and Oak Life Church. Say is based in Oakland, California, and loves collecting passport stamps. Keep a lookout for their highly anticipated book, The Spineless Porcupine, about a porcupine born without any spines, that will be published in December 2020. Please give a round of applause. Maybe unmute yourselves for just a sec for Say.
What's up, everyone? How's it going? I am Say, and I wanted to start off by thanking Christian, Lacey, Bailey, Carissa, and the whole Lyrical Opposition team for having me. And I'm going to start off by sharing a poem on how pain and betrayal can become the very soil that becomes the birthing ground for new life. And it's called The Alchemy of Grief. Little did I know these tears etched pathways to mangled roots of a heart buried deep, split open like a seed, so I could emerge from the dust. A photosynthesis of death into breath. Your kiss, like Judas, betraying while birthing me. Your duplicity, an embryo. Eclipsed by your shadow, I'm transfigured into light. The stones in which you cast to bury me are rolled away to form the very pathway from tomb to womb. I come forth. Judas whispers, they have risen. He flinches from the infinite spectrum of light, blinded so he can see. My pierced hands guide him to where he does not want to go, into the inevitable truth that I am him and he is me. Swallowing the words with all his might. I need thee. So this poem concludes on the fact that whether we like it or not, we are interconnected with the people who have wounded us. And there are three primary ways that I like to deal with pain. The first being what I just demonstrated, deep philosophical ponderings through poetry and embracing my tragedy, as you just heard. And my number two primary way of dealing with pain is avoidance. Yes, good old avoidance through Netflix, sleeping, and packing my schedule to the gills. And my third way of dealing with my pain is to do stand-up comedy and laugh at my own pain. So let's go ahead and do that right now, since that poem was kind of heavy, and I'll ask the Lyrical Opposition team to please unmute yourselves so I don't get to hear crickets while I'm performing. I would very much appreciate that.
We got you, Say. We're here.
Yes. Got you.
We're here. Hey.
Only laugh if it's funny. No pitch laugh, okay?
Too late.
Reveal. Oh, the
Wow,
slideshow
shots
though.
fired. All right, okay then. Here we go. So, did you know that Asians invented sadomasochism? Yes, we are the original sadomasochists. Please hear me out. We are the ones who invented the following treatments for when we're not feeling well. Nope, this is not Pinhead from Hellraiser 3. Drew, who decided to stick 1,200 acupuncture needles in his head on a lazy Sunday afternoon. We also invented acupressure with tools like this. Yes, you're supposed to press these tools deeply in sensitive parts and pressure points on each of these corresponding body parts. Look at that. You got the foot roller. Look at that thing. You got the
Image number 3.
the stick. And you got the look at that.
Oh my gosh.
There's something really off with that being so close to my mouth.
You have a point.
Moving on. We've also got cupping, also known as muffin tops. And this doesn't look entirely PG to me either. So I'm noticing an innuendo with these treatments, aren't you? Like I said, I'm telling you, sadomasochists. We also have scraping. Look at that poor Norwegian's neck. God, that hickey is going to get a lot of people scratching their head. And don't forget, we created these to leisurely walk around town in. And last but certainly not least, this torture device. Does anyone know what this is?
Twister.
Twister. I didn't think of that one. That's pretty funny. No, it's not the Jello molding for the new Rugrats movie or Twister. It's actually a hard plastic reflexology contraption that you step on with your feet to hit the pressure points of your feet because your whole body is supposedly in your foot. That's the whole thinking behind it. You know what else is in your foot? 7,000 nerve endings. So stop making me walk on that shit when I have 100-degree fever to bring it down. Not what I want to do when I'm not feeling well is to get stabbed, scraped, and reflexologized. Nope. When I was a kid, I would have rather had my grandpa lovingly read to me The Princess Bride while lying in bed coddled by my mommy eating chicken noodle soup. I remember the first time I saw the film The Princess Bride, and the most shocking takeaway for me wasn't the rodents of unusual size. It was that white kids actually got to complain about not getting to play video games while they were sick. You know what I had to endure when I was sick and not complain about? Reeking of this shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right?
No.
Complaining about smelling like Vicks people rub my ass. Get a whiff of deer antler extract sometime. That will clear your sinuses, and you will wish you had your stuffy nose back. Nope, I didn't get to passively listen to a fairy tale adventure about a beautiful young woman and her one true love saying, "As you wish," when I was sick. Instead, I was an unwilling contestant of a homemade American Ninja Warrior course and Fear Factor competition, drinking a concoction of cuttlefish bone, tree bark, and leaves in order to be cured from my ills. Now you are in on the secret as to why so many Asian kids got perfect attendance.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't you rather go to school than being treated by torture devices and ingesting deer antler?
Time.
I thought so.
It's true.
I would have much rather gone to school and get pity Lunchables from my white friends for being sick.
Lunchables. Oh my god.
Hey, look, it's cupping again. And you know what else all those years in the pit of despair, also known as our parents' house, taught us? Resistance. We have a way higher pain tolerance than even the dread pirate Roberts. So take that. Shiver me timbers, I'll plunder your booty. Now, I see the light of the incredible ancient wisdom of our Asian heritage. We are actually built for resisting, opposing, and withstanding against what is harming us, whether it be a fever, a headache, or systemic injustice. We will not bend or break for anything or anyone. We will endure, we will push back, and we will press through any pain for the ultimate goal of curing our ills, whether they be in our bodies or in our greater society. So I invite all of us to rise up and resist racial and systemic oppression in solidarity with other minorities. And now I cup people I like willingly to show them my affection, just like my parents did. So have fun storming the castle. Thanks, everyone.
Woo.
Oh, thanks, Say.
Thank you, Say.
You got it.
So much. You know, that was like, that like unearthed memories in me I didn't even know I had.
I
Like,
know, right?
yeah,
Great
I'm- yeah, like I'm Vietnamese. I don't know if anyone else is Vietnamese in this chat, but we got this thing called gạo ya, where if you're sick, you get a penny, and they scratch your back with this like tiger oil. And I think it was trauma, y'all. I think it was trauma. Like that, like I forgot.
Why do you think I'm making these jokes? This is my trauma therapy. This is my catharsis here.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Say, for that.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Yeah, that was definitely relatable. For all the for folks who are not Asian, you have a sneak peek into our childhoods. Now you know if your Chinese friend, Vietnamese friend, whoever, takes out the cupping, it's a sign of love language. So now you know. So now what we're gonna do is take a little 2-minute bathroom break because we know it's Zoom. So we'll check back in 7:36 for folks. Looking in the chat just real quick, people are saying they felt that, heard of that. Thank you, Say. My friend Tersa, she's Ethiopian. She said my African self. She says she can relate. So we're crossing ethnic, racial lines here. Yeah. So we're gonna take a 2-minute break. Come back at 7:36. So go ahead, get some water. Go to the bathroom. Feel free to do what you gotta do. And I'll play some music for us.
Whenever you are, feel the flow, keep walking and we can't get far. Wherever you are, funny how the music put time to perspective. Out of sound, trapped in line, connected. Whenever you are, feel the flow, keep walking and we can't get far. Wherever you are, like a movie that you can't predict, like a drug that you can't resist. I sing along a song that's so sensual. Bring along a sip to make it all so sexual. Verbally, that is making love to the music means vibing to the beat at night with the whole city fast asleep. Out cold, true words seem to rise if the lips take hold of a poet of me most powerfully. I feel free when the world doesn't know it to me. It's so hard to find a gig that admit my thinking is wishful. Like a star upon a child, gazing up to the ceiling. How far do we have to stretch the truth to fit the lifestyle for road and overdose? We can take it all back to the register and start all over from the can of stuff. Break it all down into pieces of bright moments that pass by like a meteorite. Draw on your favorite reel, that's good to go. On the analog player, watch the people go. Sit back with the page and let the memories flow. Comedy, tragedy, all the highs and lows. It's funny how the music from time to perspective. Add a soundtrack to your life is perfected. Whenever you are, feel it will keep walking and we can't get far. Wherever you are, funny how the music from time to perspective. Add a soundtrack to your life is perfected. Whenever you are, feel it will keep walking and we can't get far. Wherever you are.
Cool. So we're just gonna bring it back now. I hope that was enough time for y'all to go to the bathroom, get a snack, do what you gotta do, get your Asian snacks, get them shrimp chips, get them, high chews, whatever it is. I know y'all got that in your cabinet somewhere. Don't lie to me. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna open up our next session with a poem that I wrote. So I wrote this poem a few years ago in college, dealing a little bit with trying to feel beautiful, being an Asian woman, and dealing with white beauty standards. So here goes. Beauty. My whole entire life, I have struggled to feel beautiful. Growing up, I remember flipping through magazines and seeing fair-skinned models on the pages. They had blonde hair, blue eyes, and tall noses. I was the complete opposite. My eyes were slanted, I had a flat nose, and I had tan skin. Already at a young age, I had come to associate beauty with whiteness. The struggle to feel beautiful manifested itself in the way that I viewed my family. I used to dream of a world in which I wasn't the child of immigrants. I was embarrassed. Every time my parents spoke their broken English in public for career day, I would pretend my mother was a lawyer or a doctor because I was too ashamed to admit she worked at a nail salon making a living from painting the nails of rich white people. I daydreamed about what it would be like to be white, to have parents that spoke perfect English, who went to college and could help me with my homework. I wonder how much it hurt my mother to see me so ashamed of our culture. In order to fit in, to feel beautiful, to mimic what I saw on TV and in media, I put on a mask. In putting on this mask, I stripped myself of my identity and replaced it with whiteness. I kept my Vietnamese hidden underneath my tongue. Every time it would kick at the back of my teeth, begging to be released, I would clasp my mouth shut. I swallowed my heritage and let it fester inside of me. And I even wore this mask in church. I felt in order to fit in with the rest of my congregation, I had to purge myself of any remnants of my Vietnamese identity. For a while, I believed I had to be white in order to be godly. In my mind, I felt I was worshiping a God only for white people. I remember an instance where I opened my eyes during a prayer and realized that no one looked like me. I realized that no matter how hard I pretended to be white, it would never work. That no matter how hard I tried to keep this mask on my face, it would never fit. My eyes, too small. My nose, too flat. My Asianness, too much. In that instance, I asked God, why did he not make me white? It would have been so much easier to blend in and to finally feel beautiful. I didn't find beauty until I stopped looking around me and started looking up at the cross. The true sacrificial love found at the cross is more beautiful than anything I could ever imagine. It told me that I no longer needed to wear this mask of whiteness to feel beautiful, that I was made in the imago Dei, in the image of God. And although I spent my entire life burying who I was, this love told me there was beauty in being Vietnamese. When I finally understood the true beauty of the cross, I started to see there was beauty in my life everywhere I looked. Beauty is when I look in the mirror and acknowledging my almond-shaped eyes and flat nose were handpicked by the creator of the universe. Beauty is the sound of Vietnamese filling the air. It's when I hear the sound of harsh American syllables collide with the soft vowels of Vietnamese. The two do not mix, but in turn create a beautiful cacophony, but most importantly, beauty is found in the way my immigrant parents love their children so dearly. It is in the sacrificial love that my mother is so willingly ready to give, just like the way Jesus washed the feet of others out of love, so does my mother. Her whole career has been spent hunched over, washing the feet of others so that I could have the ability to speak these words before you today. I realize now that true beauty is not trying to obtain some standard of whiteness. True beauty is living into who I was meant to be. That's it, y'all. Thank you.
Lacey.
All right. Because of that, I just got to say, we need some folks to unmute their mics. Just unmute for a second and just give Lacey a quick hand clap. Can I hear it?
Ma'am, yes.
Yes. There's 54 people in the spirit.
Oh, good.
Lacey, you deserve more than claps, yo. Those parallels are ridiculous.
If we could
The
also give a
analogy-
hand clap to all the people who have performed from 7 o'clock till now, let's give them a hand clap as well.
Hey.
Thank you, everybody. All right, so we're gonna
Billy.
keep this show going because it's 7:43.
Sorry, Billy. I just want to tell you that Audie Kochiyama is here. She's in our room now.
Hello, hello, and welcome.
Hello.
It is definitely an honor to be in this space with you tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. So Laura, it's right on time because you're up.
Oh no!
So I'm gonna give your quick introduction. I'm introducing Laura. Laura is in NYC since the 60s. Laura Chan Eisler has been active in the Asian American movement, pursuing stand-up. She uses comedy to address race in America. Laura, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. So strangers, total strangers, ask me, "What are you? What do you think I am?" I hear Thai, Filipino, Hawaiian, even Cambodian. They never get it right. I say I'm an American, and then I hear, "Yes, but what are you really?" I'm 5th generation American of Chinese descent. Shh, I guess I shouldn't say Chinese so loud, because President Trump is calling the virus Kung Fu. That's so fucking racist. I'm an American. I'm Asian American, to be exact. I remember years ago, my hairdresser, Tony, was transitioning to a woman. She had a lot of work done on her body and face. She asked me, "Did you get your eyes done?" Some Asian women get plastic surgery on their eyes to make them not look so Asian. Well, I said to Tony, "Don't you think I would have had my nose done first before my eyes?" Could you guys like unmute yourself? Because I need to get some feedback.
Oh, man.
No, yes.
Thanks. I need you guys to laugh.
That's amazing.
I know I look ambiguous. When I was growing up, people said I looked like Eartha Kitt. I know I'm not white and I'm not black. So I could pick either team, I guess.
Wow.
I've been a race junkie for over 50 years. This is my time. I always wanted to use stand-up to talk about race. In fact, I just came up with a stage name. How's this? Little Kimchi.
Oh, no.
But you know, I just Googled Little Kimchi and it's already used by a Black and Korean rapper who used to be a porn star.
Oh, wow.
I guess she could keep the name. That's yes, yes. So during this whole virus, we were living in New York City, and my husband and I moved to Queens. I'm trapped in Ridgefield. I'm so upset. I couldn't even protest. When we moved here, I realized, oh my God, there's no Black people. In fact, if I want to see a person of color, I have to go in and look at myself in the mirror.
Damn.
Wow.
So I wear black and I chew glass for breakfast and occasionally this is what a senior citizen looks like nowadays. Okay, so my ninjas, we have to go.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we're going from protest to policy. This is really, really gonna be hard, but we gotta do the hard work. At 3 easy steps to bring America together. We have to socialize together, break bread together, and have sex together. Like Blacks, Browns, Asians, and whites. We have to fuck together. Come on. It worked for me. Thank you. This is my time. I'm Laura Eisler. Thank you.
That was so great. Yes, thank you, Laura.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hey, hey.
Oh gosh.
Yo, Miss Laura, you got all of us weak. Everybody's in the chat. Thank you so much for sharing your.
My asthma flaring up.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. A lot of people in the comments are saying they're weak. They're saying LOL. They're saying that was great, Laura. Thank you so much, Miss Laura, for sharing your joy with us. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also, I got a shout out to Miss Laura because in all of our workshops, she was always dropping stones of wisdom. She was always dropping truth. She was willing to share her story. So thank you so much for being in that space with us too this past week.
Oh, it was great. I am very proud of all of you guys. Keep up the good work, really.
Thank you also for connecting us and keeping us connected with folks from literally bringing in the intergenerational piece that we've been looking for. So thank you.
My other friend is also here, Becky Hom. So shout out to her. She's also been a very active woman in the Asian movement on the East Coast.
Cool. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and transition. We're going to move on to our last performance. So I'll be introducing Yan. Yan, they them sings the kind of raw, soulful sounds that belong to a rainy day. The most familiar ingredients in their music are finger-picked, jazzy guitar chords, and soft vocal runs. Yan has performed around the Bay Area at local staples like San Francisco Pride, Oakland Pride, International Hotel, and Off the Grid. You can listen to their music on Apple, Spotify, or Bandcamp, and I'll make sure to put those links in the chat as well.
Everybody, thanks Lacey for the introduction. I just want to make sure, is there background noise right now or is it okay? Okay, thanks Lacey. Very little, good to hear. Sweet, so I'm just gonna get started with this song that I wrote last year, just about my insecurities, so enjoy. Do you know me? Do you understand me? Hey, do you know me? Do you don't know if you will hold me, if I show you all of me. I don't know if you will hold me, if I show you all. I'm wondering now, I'm hoping that I'm wondering now, yeah. I'm hoping now, yeah, yeah. Don't wanna be alone, be alone. Will you stay with me? Stay with me. Don't wanna be alone, yeah. Be alone. Will you want me to? Do you want me to? Yeah. So I've been thinking about you day and night and night and day. Wake up wondering about you. Lady in the shower too. It's a feeling here, but I've been there before. And I know it won't end with you. Hey, stay with me. Stay with me. Don't wanna be alone. Yeah. Don't wanna be alone. Be alone. Will you want me to? Do you want me to? Hey, do you know me? Do you understand me? Hey, do you know me? Hey, do you understand me? Hey, do you know me? Do you understand me? Do you know me? Do you understand me? Hey, do you know me? That's me imagining the noise of the crowd. That first song was thanks everybody. Thanks Lacey. Appreciate it. So in between, I'm gonna play one more song, but before I share that, I'm just gonna share a little bit about some Asian American activists that I really appreciate, since that's what we're here for today. So these are actually mostly nonprofits and communities I've worked with in the Bay Area that I really like. Just want to say that I really appreciate API Equality. They're this LGBTQ Asian Pacific Islander organization based in San Francisco, and they do a lot of education around trans justice, and they're just a really good community that kind of helped me feel comfortable having queer community in the Bay Area. I really appreciate the Asian Prisoner Support Committee that's based in Oakland, but they do a lot of support work for folks in mostly San Quentin, but I just appreciate that they're providing a lot of support for Asian American communities with higher rates of incarceration, a lot of Southeast Asian folks, and people who are at high risk of being deported. So I really appreciate their work. I'll type it in the chat so folks can check it out later. And I also really appreciate Asians for Black Lives, and they're based in Oakland and in SF, but they started out doing a lot of solidarity work with Black Lives Matter, but now they're just a really great way for folks to be involved with just being aware of other protests and movements happening in the Bay, because they do a lot of supportive work for direct actions around here. I just feel those are a bunch of plugs, but those are really the Asian American activists that have been inspiring me in the Bay Area for the past few years. Side note, on a completely different tangent, I also take freestyle requests. So if y'all want me to sing about Tupperware, about bread, or macaroni and cheese, or noodles, a lot of food, but feel free to drop it in the chat and you might hear a piece about it. But before I do that, I'm gonna share one more song. This one's also not on Spotify, but it's a song that I wrote after I got ghosted, so that's what this song's about. Nope, wrong key. Hold up. Okay, Boba, I hear that. Can't shake this sense of that insecurity. I'm craving you, maybe more than I should. You tell me how you're busy, but you'll find the time. I tell you how I need some more consistency. I'm sorry I don't trust you more, maybe I should. But and do you care? Can I trust you? Will you get it? Yeah. Are you loyal? Do you care? Can I trust you? Will you get it? But are you loyal? Do you care? Can I trust you? Will you get it? Yeah. Are you loyal? Do you care? Can I trust you? Will you get it? Are you loyal? Do you care? Can I trust you? Will you be there? Hey, hey. So tell me what you want, tell me what you like, I'll take it there tonight. Tell me what you like, I'll take it there tonight. So that, yeah, yeah. Tell me what you want, tell me what you like, I'll take it there tonight. Tell me what you like, I'll take it there tonight. Oh no, so that, yeah. Tell me what you wanna do with me. Don't know, brother, gotta go with you. Tell me what you wanna know, so that I tell me what you wanna do with me. Don't know, brother, gotta go with you. Tell me what you wanna know, so that Time for danger noodles. That's not what y'all said. Y'all said, what was the freestyle request? Protein and Justin Timberlake and Boba. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hold on. Okay. I'm really sensitive to caffeine, so I don't drink Boba that much. But I wish I drank it more. Hey, and I don't really listen to Justin Timberlake. Though he's got that nice voice, he kinda has this song that I really like called Senorita, but it's kinda racist. I don't like how he tokenizes people who speak Spanish. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. But it's a really catchy song. What was the last topic? Okay. I need more protein. I found out that I lose a lot of arm wrestling matches. I lose more than half the time. I think I need some protein, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's my freestyle for tonight. Thanks for listening, y'all. I heard that someone wants to hear the EP, and the EP is out, so you can find that on Spotify, on Bandcamp, on SoundCloud. And yeah, thank you, Lyrical Opposition, for organizing. Seems like a lot of folks are really growing and learning from this. I'm gonna drop those links in the chat. And have a good night, y'all.
Thank you, thank you. Can folks unmute again just for that one hand clap? You know, we can make some noise on the Zoom.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, yeah.
All those skills. So thank you for being here with us tonight. We want to continue these spaces, so we want to build that bridge to fill in that gap of our intergenerational stories. I hear a lot about the fact that we feel like we have to be quiet, that we're silenced. Our relationships with our parents may not be what we would hope them to be because they work really hard. And so to have these spaces where young folks can connect with older folks, where we can understand our history and really get to know one another, I think that's really powerful. I think when we continue to speak about our stories, that's really powerful. Sharing our talents and connecting with one another is really powerful. And so after tonight, we are going to continue to connect with folks. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to open up a brunch session. And so we'll send some more info on that. But if you guys are interested, please feel free to join us. We want to stay connected. To close us out, I am going to do a poem called "You Are So Damn Powerful." Where did you go? You were once so poetic, spitting the English language on a vibration that stunned souls into opening their minds to listen. It's like your poetry was a perfect mix of rhythm, wordplay, and soul. Why did you let her go? You told the world she speaks, yet she, silenced by her own reflection, turned into a dim shadow following a defeated voice. Did you catch laryngitis? Girl, speak. The sun, setting on your own horizon because you allowed them to convince you that you were just a project set before the crowd to reel in the prospects. White folks stripped your voice using God, yet the word tells you time and time again there is no condemnation in this walk. Yet you've let man-made rule behoove your God's grace and mercy. The one that holds the entire universe has shown you grace and you accepted it and moved, but now you've stopped her. Bring her back. Give her that life the universe showed her, that vision you had when you were a little girl to feel and love. What superpower would you want to have? Empath. Remember those answers? They all wanted to fly or move mountains, but you just wanted to feel and speak life. So tell me why you gave that up. Yet she, conditioned to perpetuate a cycle of assimilation. White privilege will never be your privilege, and you'll forever be infuriated by white supremacy. So tell me again, why assimilate? When assimilation just leads to extinction of a culture that promotes loyalty, hard work, and integrity. Told you to dodge conflict, like if you left, architectural creativity would exist. You seal your lips together because they told you to. Even though you've always confronted bullies and overreacted, you never knew 0, you only knew 100. Why did you let her go? You were powerful, yet they spoke, got into your head telling you the Chinese girl can't stand up for herself. What you no longer have to justify is that you spoke Spanish before you spoke English. Don't have to tell them Cantonese is your third language. Don't have to tell them you could throw hands or start revolutions or understand struggle. Your silence gives them room to manipulate. You being you explains it enough. You embracing all levels of language scares them. You defy the stereotypes, the diverging. You are powerful. A Chinese woman, as a 30-year-old, as a woman who survived abuse, bullying, and rape, as a woman whose mother told her stories of walking through malls as white women verbally bashed her, as a woman who has done her due diligence in researching the true history, as a woman who continues to dig for the very truth. You are powerful. Speak on phenomenally. Speak on like they can't hear you when you're trying to shove wisdom into their souls. Speak on as if the only voice they heard was passion. Speak on like when you performed boldly and won his heart. Speak because you have been gifted by God to couple your feelings with words. Break cycles break chains, break stereotypes, break oppression, break silence. Baby girl, you are so damn powerful. Speak. Thank you.
Y'all,
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
wow.
Ending.
So
it's
good.
the passion for
Thank you
me.
so much.
Thank you all for being here. We are definitely going to continue to
My
connect.
God.
Well, me, Lacey, and the LO family will be sticking around if anybody wants to hang out with us for a few more minutes. But that's it, folks. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
hosting.
Thank you.
Bailey, can I say something to you real quick?
I don't have a
Uh,
choice. I listen.
I want to affirm you, but okay, fine.
I'm listening.
I think what's really great is that despite this being a story, this whole theme of the event was about centering on Asian American stories. I still feel like kind of what Sei Yang, I believe, was saying, like interconnectedness, you know? And, you know, I think MLK spoke on it, you know, like, you know, I'm from an immigrant family too, so I could see what y'all was talking about, you know, and it was just beautiful. And in that piece, I felt affirmed, even though I'm a black man, I'm Ethiopian, I'm not you, but I love that when an artist does their thing and they do it well, they can speak beyond boundaries, you know? So I want to thank you for that piece and everybody who performed. I couldn't hear everybody because I kind of got some weak sound quality, but I was blessed to be in the space and invited, so thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Solidarity, yo.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got chills. The whole night. Bailey's piece just topped it off.
Man, I'm so speechless over here. I don't even know what to do.
Hey, yo, Ash, I see you with the gassing up everyone, the support. Thank you so much.
Hey, this is authenticity at its finest, man. I thank you and Bailey for just this space in general, all the artists, each and every one of you, amazing. I'm astounded, and we got to keep going.
Thanks, Ash. We appreciate you at LO. Should I play music? What are folks feeling? A little after party. I can play some jams. We can share each other's Instas. We can slide into each other's DMs, create new relationships.
Christian, did you send out the survey to see if folks...
We didn't send
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, I was like, do we send out the survey?
I'll put it there it is again.
Lacey said, she
What's
said,
so
hit that
appealing?
jam
I want to
that you-
click on it. Shout out to the outdoor gym. That was a part
Yeah,
of our.
shout out to Alex. We see you out there. He making gains, you know, physically and mentally. You feel me?
Yeah,
Not
I
done.
worked out the whole event.
Same every day. All we do is we just do the work for the love of it all the time. Appreciate y'all, everybody that spoke, everybody that shared. Love y'all. I'm glad we can sit in. My folks, Rex and Andrea, they from Taiwan.
Hey.
They loved it. Thank you guys.
Nice. What's up? That's cool.
Wait, can I ask a quick question? What was that? Y'all working out? Cause I need